guys, Jedi Rich here. We're streaming in portrait today. So let me know how you feel about that and how you think you like that action instead of using this way. But a lot of you guys are on your phones who are watching our channel. So, in fact, you know, I paused because I was thinking like I think a lot of people use their phones quickly for social media, especially social media. I don't know, I mean, occasionally I go to my computer to go on YouTube to watch a video, but for the most part, I use my phone. So that's why we do this way. That's why TikTok is this way. Sound and Movement's this way. People aren't really using their computers to watch movies. They've got their Apple TVs and their Rokus now. So you can just put your videos on that. So it's Wednesday today, guys. It's actually a pretty nice day in Manhattan, considering the weather we've had this year. What I'm looking to do right now, though, just so you know, is I am actively looking for a sales job to get back into business, what I did before I got depressed, before 9/11, before I left Manhattan. And you know, I'm not this one isn't to go into that story. This is to talk about what I'm doing today. So I've been putting together my resume, explaining what I've been doing for the last 20 years. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you had to tell somebody, hey man, I kind of checked out for 20 years and now I'm back. I feel like I'm Rumpelstiltskin, or whoever that guy was that fell asleep. Remember that story? He fell asleep and then woke up 20 years later with a long beard and he had no idea what was going on, or some of those other, the stories where they say you were time traveling, or no, you were frozen and you got put to sleep and then you woke up like 100 years later and everything is different. Well, that's kind of what happened to me. Fortunately, it's only been 20 years, so it's not that different. and I wasn't asleep, but I was depressed. And if you've never experienced depression, like I had never experienced depression. And I think most people who are depressed, a lot of people don't realize it. And the reason why they don't realize it is because they're eating a lot of sugar, a lot more sugar than they have. Because sugar will make you feel better. Ice cream makes you feel better. I mean, I see a lot more men eating ice cream cones and eating chocolate and candy bars, adults eating candy. You know, when I was a kid, adults did not eat candy. My dad didn't eat ice cream. Well, he ate ice cream, but it was a very obvious thing that he was eating ice cream. Today, it's like, it could be like 9 a.m. I'll see dads walking down the street with an ice cream cone in their hand. It's like, hey, I felt like an ice cream cone. Okay, right. See, so that's kind of a lot of the reason why a lot of us don't realize we're depressed, is because when we feel upset, we've learned that eating an ice cream cone, or food in general, but definitely an ice cream cone, will make us feel very euphoric, make us feel better. And so that's how we've learned to get through. I'm not kidding. I mean, I've been looking at this charts and the stats and just what's been going on over the last 100 years. And this has only happened the last 100 years that people have gotten fatter because they've had more access to more sugar. And the food industry has just dominated. I mean, that's where all the sales are. I mean, look at Las Vegas. It's no longer trying to get people there to go gamble. They're advertising food. It's like, hey man, look at all this great food we have. So that's kind of what's getting people through their depression these days. Now, as far as me, what I did was I did that too. I ate a lot of food. In fact, I moved to Las Vegas. I moved to Las Vegas because that's where people went to go have fun and go alleviate their depression. That's where people go to celebrate. That's where people go when things go bad. That's where people go to have a good time. If they have a breakup, they go there. If they're getting married, they go there. So that's where I went. And plus, that's where my family lived. So I went to Vegas, and I went with my wife. We went there in 2013. We actually got married there in 2014. And honestly, I was going there because I was going to kill myself. I was going to die. I was very depressed. And I really didn't have any reason to live much longer. I mean, I'd taken care of all my loose ends. I sold my real estate, I sold my properties, I sold my mom's stuff, I'd given her the money, given my sister all the money. I'd taken care of everything I needed to take care of. In fact, when I went to Vegas, for the first 2 years, I didn't even bother getting a driver's license or anything. I mean, I didn't need it. I figured, why do I need a driver's license? I just, Jedi Joy, I just said, let her handle everything. I was literally just checked out. I was off the grid. I wasn't planning on coming back. I thought I would do it like Nicolas Cage style, Hey, if life sucks so bad, let's at least go to Vegas and get some free drinks. That's seriously what I was thinking. And then we'll kill ourselves. So that's kind of was the plan. But what happened was they legalized marijuana in 2016. So I started smoking legal marijuana. Originally, because I thought it was just going to get high, I was like, oh, this is great. I'll get some weed, I'll get some cocaine, I'll get some alcohol, and I'll really have a party. But what I was doing was, I was self-medicating. See, I was depressed. I was going to kill myself. Unless I had cocaine, marijuana, or alcohol. I mean, those alleviate depression. That's why people do them. You didn't know that? Happy people don't do cocaine because they're already euphoric. They've already got function. Cocaine, there's nothing in cocaine. There's no euphoria in it. It's just a powder that releases the stuff in your brain that naturally comes out when you're already in the state of happy people. So you instantly become like other people that are happy, which is, hey man, I love life. You're engaged by it. Problem is, it wears off very quickly. So you have to get more of it. But what it does is, it gives you a glimpse of what happiness is if you haven't experienced it in a while or ever. So if you're depressed, you're thinking about killing yourself, do some cocaine. And then suddenly you'll have a reason to live. If not just for the cocaine. But quite honestly, what it is that you realize that there is more to life. You realize that you could be euphoric. You get to that different level. And that's why I'm here to talk about. That's why I do this channel. That's why I talk to people. I don't do it for views. If I did it for views, I'd be like Raiders 1967 or Jacob Worth and just blah, 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 blah about, all the stuff in Vegas. Well, that's great. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're dealing with their depression. See? They're depressed. They don't want to do cocaine all day. So what they do is they found a function. They come on here and then they got a bunch of depressed people watching their channel. Now, why do I mention that they're depressed? Okay, I'm gonna stop yelling here, because now I'm in public. So why do I mention that they're depressed? Because it's important to understand your market, who you're marketing to on the internet. Anyone who spends a significant amount of time on the internet is significantly depressed. The longer you're on the internet, the more depressed they are. So someone who's a serious troll is very, very depressed. And you know that because you can see what comes out, and they're in the bitter stage of their depression. They're at the stage where they just say nasty things to people, and all they want to do is just poke holes in everybody. They don't want to support their authors, they don't want to support the people, they just want to chop them down. And the problem with that is, well, nothing really. The problem with that for the person is that it just hurts them because they'll get blocked, they'll get isolated, and that's what happened to me. And that's what happens in real life. When I was depressed, I got more and more bitter. And the more bitter I got, the more people cut me out. And the more I got cut out, the more bitter I got. I mean, think about it, it's kind of cyclical. So it just kind of fed on itself. It was this chain thing. You know, and I didn't have a dad the way a lot of guys have dads. And I did not have a mother at all. And I had a brother, but he died. So I was very much always reaching for somebody, you know, to be my brother. And I had a sister too, but she's mentally, like, she's clinical. She's out there on the streets, which is where I thought I was going too, by the way. Make the family complete. However, I knew that wasn't where I was supposed to be because I had a pretty good track record behind me. And things were going good. It's just that there are certain things that hit me, and I didn't have time. You know, I didn't have anybody to support me. I had a girlfriend that was only with me for money. So when I hit, you know, when I got in trouble, instead of supporting me, she just rolled her eyes and basically started looking around for somewhere else to go. When I started telling my friends what was going on, they said, I can't help you. You're on your own on this one. Time to put your big boy pants on. Well, that's great. All those people I called had brothers, they had friends, they had dads, they had people, they had churches, they had things they could rely upon. I didn't have any of that. I didn't have any fraternity brothers. I didn't do any of that stuff. I'm what you call one of them loners that had a lot of friends, that was very successful. So when I got depressed, there was nobody there to help me, to say, hey man, don't worry about it, you'll make it through. So I didn't know what to do. So that's what happened to me. That's why I was just kind of found my own way. And now I'm glad, because you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. If I had one of my friends like Greg Hedges or somebody like one of these guys I grew up with, say, hey man, don't worry about it, I'll take you in, you know, I got your back. Here's some money, whatever you need, dude, I got you. If I had somebody like that saying, man, it would have given me, you know, some sort of comfort. I could have had to breathe about it. I panicked. There wasn't, in fact, those guys said, get the fuck out. So I panicked. So I took off to Panama and I became suicidal. But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And what I discovered was smoking marijuana cured my depression. And I want to tell everybody about it, but every time I talk about it on this channel, or a lot of social media channels, they block it. Or they limit the views, and they don't circulate it. So that's where I talk about, if I wanted views, I would talk about things that, like, you know, hey, check out this, you know, check out the new tunnel that Elon Musk built. You know, that gets like 5 million views. But if I talk about like how medical marijuana saved my life and how it cured my depression so I could get back to work here in New York City after 9/11, they ban it. And the reason why is because if you look around, a lot of these channels are sponsored by Pfizer, you know, the pharmaceuticals, and the fast food industry, and the food industry in general, the restaurant industry. Well, as you guys know, I was very overweight when I was depressed. And when you're depressed, all you want to do is eat food and go to doctors and get pills. So if you think about it, the pharmaceuticals have no interest in curing depression. And the fast food companies, holy cow, if you cure your depression and lose weight, they're done. They're done. So they definitely don't want you to. Now, if you go on the Naked Jedi diet, you're gonna lose a lot of weight fast. You guys know what that is? That's how I lost 175 pounds. Now, the Naked Jedi diet is something that Jedi Joy and I came up with. We studied a lot over the last, we basically studied all the diets out there for 5 or 6 years, tried them all out, and none of them worked, but some of them kind of worked. And we just kept tweaking with them and reading and learning, and I used my biology background to know what I know about physiology and about metabolism to understand, oh, okay, this is consistent here, this is consistent here, this is why this isn't working. Oh, well, no wonder why. And what we deduced is that you need to make sure that you maintain a certain amount of fat to protein to sodium. Sodium is the key. We made a mistake. We were drinking too much sodium with our mineral water. We were drinking Topo Chicos, the bubbled waters. And I'm sure any of those mineral waters that have sodium in it for taste, who says, oh, this water tastes great. That's a problem. It's the taste that it's good that's going to hurt you, because sodium makes you retain water, and it also works as a sodium potassium pump for your muscles contractions and your heart. So if you have too much sodium, I don't know what's supposed to happen, but I do know what happened to me was that I got bloated, I didn't have any energy, and my muscles started deteriorating. So once I cut down the sodium, things started rocking again. So we really reduced our diet down to a few things, and that's one of them. So we've got it down to, and also the other thing is it has to be grass-fed ground beef. Nothing else works. Maybe grass-fed chicken, possibly maybe fish. Maybe, and I say maybe because I haven't done extensive on it. What I've done is I've done enough to say, oh man, I don't want to do much more. I can't be sure, but it seems like this is not working out. So I don't want to eat it because I don't want it in my body. That's how much so that I'm like 99% sure you can't eat chicken or fish, but you can eat grass-fed organic beef, and that's what I eat. That's what my wife eats, and what you drink is Poland Springs mineral water, spring water. Just the basic Poland Spring spring water, and that's all we eat. And we might add in some greens later again, but we took those out. We found those to be unnecessary. And you can kind of see on my face here, I still have a little bloatedness. See that? See that little puffiness? See how I'm starting to, what do you call it? Get thinner? My face is starting to shave down. You can see it. So right here, ideally, this little patch right here will start to go away. So I won't look so fat anymore. But before, it was all back here, and I wasn't looking the way I normally look. Oop. What happened to you guys? Oh, this thing turned off. So I got the new Osmo 5, which I reviewed on the channel there. Check it out. It's really cool because that's the extender. They moved the buttons, so it's pretty much only for a right-hander now. If I try to use my left hand, it's very difficult. And I just noticed that the other day. I was like, I think this is left hand. It even kind of centers on the right hand a little bit. So that's one thing that I kind of have a little bit of issue with. But anyways, good morning, everyone. Hey, thanks for watching the channel. Thanks for all the comments. If you have any more comments that I missed, please comment below. I know I talk about a lot of stuff. I talk fast too. So, that's Madison Square Garden. That's the real one. That's not the sphere, that's the real one.